Welcome to math. We're doing 2.6 today, dividing by two-digit divisors. Our goal today is to use the regular algorithm to divide with. Okay, Miss Farron, that's me. I love to make smoothies. To mix a batch of my famous orange punch smoothies, I use 18 ounces of freshly squeezed orange juice. On Saturdays, I squeeze 560 ounces of fresh orange juice. And let me tell you, my arm was tired from all of that squeezing. So the question then remains, how many batches of orange punch smoothies can I make? So my division problem, of course, is going to be 560 divided by 18. I'm going to estimate first. So in my estimate, remember from last time, I want my numbers to be easy to work with. So I don't want to have to do a separate problem. I just want to see what's going to be close. So then I can check with my real quotient and see if I'm even close to being on the right track. I'm looking at 18. 18 would round very nicely up to 20. And 560 would work very nicely if I rounded that up to 600. And then that would give me an estimated quotient of 30. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Next, I'm going to set up my long division problem. So I've got my 18 as my divisor. And then my dividend is 560. Okay, now this is going to work very similarly to how we've done long division in the past with just one divisor. Just now we have bigger numbers that we're working with. Sometimes they're unfamiliar, so we might have to do some estimating to figure out our quotient. We might have to do some work on the side to get our numbers going. Okay, now as I'm looking at this, 18 will not divide just into 5, so I need to look at that whole 56. I know 18 will divide into 56. The question is how many times? So here's where I'm kind of just estimating in my head. I'm going to take a guess and try it out and see if it works. 56, really close to 60. 18, really close to 20. Kind of like I figured out over here my estimate. So I'm going to try 3 and see if that will work. I don't know 18 times 3 off the top of my head. Congratulations if you do, but I don't. So I've got to do that work out to the side. That's 54, and that will actually work really well. So my 3 is going to go above the 6 on 56 because I'm dividing into that whole 56, not just the 5. And then subtract 54. I get 2 left, and then bring down my 0, just like with regular long division. Now I'm dividing 18 into 20. That will go 1 time. And then I just will have a few left over. So again, I multiply and subtract. 20 minus 18 is 2. So then I have 2 left over. So there's my quotient. Now in this problem, it does have some meaning to it. This means that I can make 31 batches of smoothies. Okay, which, very nicely enough, was really close to my estimate. And then that 2 means that I have 2 ounces of OJ left over. Now, you wouldn't have to say that. But sometimes that's nice to say, oh, I have some left. What is that for again? So sometimes that's nice to mention it. But I've got enough to make 31 batches of smoothies. Okay, now I don't always make my own smoothies. Sometimes I go to a smoothie cafe, and my favorite orders their fruit on Wednesdays. So they set aside $1,250 to purchase Valencia oranges, very fancy oranges. Each box of these Valencia oranges costs $41. So how many boxes can they purchase? So my division problem, of course, is going to be 1,250 divided by 41. I'm going to estimate first, again, just to get kind of a rough idea of where I should be in my division. So I'm going to look at that 41 and say, well, that would be nice if I could keep that at 40. That's pretty close. And then 1,250, if I round that down to 1,200, that will be nice compatible numbers. And again, my quotient, coincidentally enough, is going to be 30. Next, I'm going to set up my long division problem. So I've got 41 as my divisor, and then 1,250 as my dividend. Okay, I'm going to divide kind of like using my estimating, sorry, that's a weird word. I like it though. I'm thinking, okay, well, 41 definitely can't divide just into 1 or 12, but I can go into 100 or 125. Looking at my estimate, I said, well, that would be 30, so about like 3 times. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to do my workout to the side here really quick. And that's 123, so that would work really nicely. So my 3 goes above the 5 of the 1,250. And then subtract 123. And I get 2. I'm going to bring down 0. 41 will not divide into 20, so I'm going to put 0, subtract 0, and then I end up with 20 left over. So quotient-wise, I'm looking at 30, remainder 20. In this problem, though, what that means is that I can buy, or sorry, that the Smoothie Cafe buys, they can buy 30 boxes. I definitely don't need 30 boxes myself, so the cafe probably needs it, though. They can buy 30 boxes of oranges, and then this 20, meaning that they're going to have some money left over. Okay, it's also important to know how to check your work. So still thinking of that boxes of oranges problem, we're going to check that. We're going to take the divisor, which was 41. We are going to multiply that by the quotient that we got, which was 30. And then that will give us 1,230. Going to add my remainder, and I should get my dividend. So again, this is my divisor multiplied by the quotient, and then add my remainder, and it should give me the dividend. If it doesn't, go back and check your work. Okay, next you're going to be doing some problems on your own. You're going to use your own piece of paper, either graph paper or just regular line paper. You could even use the back of the practice paper that we have in the packet for homework. And you're going to work these couple problems with me, and then we're also going to check our work with multiplication. Do make sure, though, that you're attaching your paper that you're doing your work on, okay? So that I can see that, oh yes, you do know how to do the work. But I thought I would give you the option on using graph paper or line paper or plain paper. Just make sure that you keep things lined up and you should be okay. Okay, our first problem is 63 is our divisor, and our dividend is 756. So I'm looking at this and thinking, okay, well, 63 can divide into 75 one time. There's only going to be a little bit left over. So 1 times 63 is 63, so I subtract that, and I get 12. Bring down the 6. Just kind of estimating, I'm thinking, okay, well, my 6 of my 63 works pretty well with the 126 and the 12 there, so I'm thinking that's going to go twice. I'm just going to really quick do 63 times 2. Oh yeah, that does go beautifully even. So then I don't have any left, so my quotient here is 12. We are going to check our work on these. So checked work would look like this. My divisor, 63, times the quotient. So let's do that really quickly. So I just multiplied those together, and I got 756. We didn't have a remainder, so 756 right here. My product does match the dividend up here, so I know I'm good to go on that one. Okay, on the next problem, we have our divisor being 22, and then the dividend is 4,692. Now, 22 shouldn't be super awful to work with because, you know, 11's pretty easy. 22, that's just a multiple of 11, so it should go okay. 22 will divide nicely into 46 two times. 2 times 22 is 44. That's one probably you can do in your head. Subtract, I get 2 left over, and then bring down my 9. 22 will divide nicely into 29 one time. So 1 times 22 is 22. I have 7 left, and then bring down the 2. So now I'm dividing into 72. Now again, 22 is not too bad to multiply by, right? Just multiples of 11. So I've got 22, and then 44, and then 66. I can't go more than that because then that will be more than 72. So I'm going to say 3 times 22 is 66. And that leaves me 6. So I have 213 remainder 6. We are going to check this though. So I'm going to multiply my quotient, 213 times 22. So let's multiply that. And then this end should be pretty similar. Multiplying, now adding up. Okay, I got 4,886. But remember, I also have to add my remainder. So then that should, yeah, there we go. That should match here with my product. Oh, I just caught a mistake. Did you capture my mistake? That should be a 6. Maybe I'll even erase that. Yeah, I should probably erase that. Maybe. Oh, I don't think I can. Well, you should erase it if you made the same mistake as me. Maybe I can erase this one. No, why can't I erase it? Okay, well, let me rewrite here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, this product, this correct product, 4,692, does match my lovely dividend in my division problem. So I am good to go on those. Okay, same thing with your practice problems. On your own, use another piece of paper to work these on your own and check your work with multiplication. You can use the same paper that you used for those 2 problems we just finished. Just make sure to attach it, so just staple it onto the back of our homework packet. I will be here when you are ready to check. Okay, with that first problem, 385 divided by 12. My quotient was 32, remainder 1. Take a moment to pause, check your work if you need to, with the dividing and then also with the multiplying in your checking to make sure that you were correct. And then push play when you're ready to check your second problem. Okay, second problem, 620 divided by 28. Quotient should be 22, remainder 4. Go ahead and check your dividing work and your multiplying work on your checking. Okay, and of course, you know what to do here. Check your understanding. Write something that you could share with us in class tomorrow.